Peace, YouTube. My lighting in here is crazy. Let's see. Sorry, everybody. I think it's a little dark in here. It'll have to do. Peace, YouTube. This is FleurBrun. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Peace, YouTube. This is FleurBrun coming to you today with a new topic of discussion. I think it's lightening up now. Check on in. Hey, superhero. Hey, Melissa. Alo, hola. I like that name. Alo, hola. Check on in. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Hey, Star Rose. Gratefully, I'm well. This is an important topic, and as you know, YouTube. Hey, Teresa. How you doing, Mama? Is it cold in the Poconos? Hey, Amethyst Rain. Hey, Jason. Hey, John. John Anthony. I like your name. That's an honest name. You ever meet someone named John Anthony? Hi, John Anthony. It's an honest name. I knew two people with that name, and they were just really, really, really nice, integrity written. It's a name. Whoever your parents gave you that name is a really good choice. Check on in. Cool Nell. It's cold. Oh my gosh. You see, I'm a trans toad, everybody. Look, look, everybody. I'm a trans frog today. And I hope you accept I used to be a trans panda, but I'm not feeling like I'm into bamboo. So I'm a trans frog. Okay. So, you know, that's my status right now. This is so cute. This amazing woman made this hat for me, and it's so cute and it's so warm. Check on in. I'll wait until we get to 500 and I'll start. Books. Ooh. A good, nice classic. A Dolores Cannon Convoluted Universe. That's a nice one. If you can get the copy of Ringmakers of Saturn by Norman Berggren, it's like $1,600 now. I bought it years ago for $200. It's a lot of money for a book. Shalom Yafi, coming in from Israel. It's madness over there, right, Yafi? I hope you're okay. Dolores Cannon is like a good classic, you know what I mean? I love, you know, when you talk about quantum, the quantum healing sessions that people do with the regression, you know, she started that. I don't know if many of you know that. She's the reason why you have the quantum healing was QHHT, right? QHHT. It's really good. You watch Pan's Labyrinth? Oh, I want to watch that, Empress. That's a good one. We have some movies on deck, y'all. We're going to wait until we get to 500. Please put a handy... Oh, and I just want to let you know, YouTube has called me a terrorist. Wow. Let me give a shout out to YouTube while we're waiting for everyone to check in. Let me explain something, YouTube. You should be really grateful that I even started on your terrorist network. You set everybody up. You made it seem like we had free speech. You let us come on here. We used to talk about everything. And now I'm a mom. I talk about extraterrestrials and other things. And you have the audacity to call me a terrorist. But you'll let people beat up people. You'll see all these hoodlums beating up on youth. You'll let these people talk about all kinds of disgusting, disparaging fake news. talking about cucarachas as if it's real and you haven't biologically created a mass pandemic that you created through your bioterrorist networks. Okay, how dare you? This is a shout out. Let me give a sip to the hater, YouTube. YouTube, you're just mad. And you know what? I'm on Rumble. Y'all, I'll make the videos on Rumble when I get up. I told you when I get to about 5,000 subscribers, 10,000 would be my preference. I will make the most bomb video, blowing spots about the interterrestrials and extraterrestrials. You know what I mean? Yeah, they make sexual videos with girls with no. You're talking about. You know what's crazy? I haven't ever shown anything other than here. I'm not showing my behind or anything. And really, in itself, I have natural cleavage. It's not like my boobies are out, and you know, sometimes I wear shorter shirts. But you will have a whole bunch of insidious videos with thought bots, fake news women that we don't even know are terrorists to men's minds. And you have and bad music, right, Star? Really bad music. And you call FleurBrun a terrorist? Let me give a sip to the hater, YouTube, for being the biggest hater out here. I don't even twerk. I can't even twerk, y'all. I don't even twerk. If I did that, I'd be acceptable. If I had a BLM, someone came on here and called me a racist. I said, if I had a BLM flag on my behind and I twerked, you probably would all accept me. It's disgusting. YouTube, you're about to go down. And I'm gonna make sure. And if I had time on my hands, I'd sue your behinds for being biased and restricting free speech. Hey, Quantum Sensei, is it cold in Sweden? Listen, this is my owe it to Sweden. My froggy. I remember I'm a trans frog sensei, so this is my owe it to Sweden, because I know it's chilly by you, right? You know, owe it to Sweden. So check on in. I'll wait until we get to 500. When we get to 500, I'll start. And I just want to let you know what YouTube thinks of me, you know. And they will let people talk on here for hours. You got Canadian Prepper inciting people, talking about things, and basically just using it to build his store brand. I mean, it's crazy out here. It's cold. Ooh, hey, Melissa. Hola. Yes, crazy. So we're gonna get into the topic, and I don't know if YouTube will let us stay up. It doesn't matter. I'll upload everything to Rumble anyway, so they could kiss my Ross clots. They call me a terrorist, so the content I share is terroristic. You got a whole bunch of you know, holographic grays all over the place, and you're worried about me. But now I'm a trans frog. Can anyone come to me? Can I get an attorney for animals' rights? So I'm asking anyone who's a animal activist, who's an attorney for animals' rights. I have decided to be a trans frog, and I want to know if my rights are being violated by YouTube and the government. So if you can help me out by offering me your services as an animal protected, like I don't know how protected I am as a frog. So I used to be a trans panda, so I'm still in the animal rights kind of genre. So I'm asking for any attorney who protects animals, who can speak on my behalf, so that we can go to the federal government and I can see if frogs have rights. So if we can, I would love it. Any attorney, if you're willing to help me out with my trans frog, new path. You know, I haven't really decided. I have to get my lily pad. It has to be a bigger pad because, you know, I'm a little chunky. But I think frogs don't really have a weight limitation, right? So I have to get a little, if anybody wants to donate a pond so that I can nicely get on my lily pad and just kind of float around your pond, if you don't mind. You know, I am a little, you know, I'm trying to get over my physicality as a human, but I'm decided to be a trans frog. I just need, if anybody can donate a lily pad that can fit me so I can sit in your pond, or donate your pond to me, I mean, I really appreciate it. So just, you know, my email is GHADDESSDELL@gmail.com. So if anybody, again, any attorneys can speak on a frog's behalf. I mean, Kermit was my uncle because now I'm a trans frog. So I'm kind of adopting Kermit the Frog as my uncle. So if you can help us, if you can help a frog out, I really appreciate it. Donations of a pond. If you have a perfect pond somewhere where I can just like lay out and be froggy, you know what I mean? And leap around, you know, splash around in the pond. Anybody who would donate a pond to me, I really appreciate it. And a lily pad. I mean, I'm trying to work on this trans frog thing, and any attorney who wants to work on my behalf, thank you very much. I just wanted to add that. Ribbit. 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 Is it authentic? Do I sound really froggy? Because they call me a racist. Can I really be a racist if I'm a frog? Because if I'm green, because look, I have the green thing going on. I got my ears, my eyes, you know, my eyes. Now I can see on top of my head. So can I really be a racist if I'm a frog? Because now I identify as a frog. Any attorney who can work on my behalf, I want my license changed. I want to be able to hop over borders. So if you can make sure my lily pad is, you know, I can travel with my lily pad, really just let me know. I really need I'm really serious. I need an attorney who can work on my behalf as a trans frog. And I'm working on my ribbit, you know, and my hop. Okay. I got to tie these suckers in a little bit to kind of get that good hop. We're almost at 500, y'all. Any donations of a pond? If you have a pond in South America, I'm okay to relocate my froggy self to South America. So if anyone in South America can donate a pond on FleurBrun's behalf, I am more than willing to take these donations and a lily pad. Just a big enough one, because, you know, I don't know if I have to lose weight because I'm a frog. Can I be a chunky frog? Like a thick frog? Is that okay? If I'm a thick frog, does that make me a bullfrog? Or does that make me a toad? I gotta work these things out. Ribbit. Okay, we're almost there, y'all. Someday you'll find me a rainbow connection. The river and me, la 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 lee. Frogs. Drop those lilies, chop, 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 chop. I'm gonna do a frog rap. Do they have any frog rappers? Maybe I can be the first female frog rapper. That'll do it. That'll fund my lily pad in my pond. I'm gonna be the first female frog rapper, and that's gonna fund my lily pad and my frog. I'm gonna be dropping the music soon, okay? Are we almost at 500? You think the nano got me? Oh, I'm drinking water, Ernest. I'm not drinking Starbucks today. Ribbit. I'm gonna open a no, what's that site where the girls drop it like it's hot? What's that site that people have? Someone told me to open that. What's that site where they go and they do not GoFundMe. What's that site? Oh God, I forgot. You know when people go on this OnlyFans, Jamoji, right? I'm gonna open up a OnlyFans for my trans frog transformation, and I'm gonna show you how I go from, you know, being like copper to green. I'm gonna paint my body up and just jump. If you donate a lily pad, then I have something to like lie on. You know what I mean? Like I said, any donations in South America for a pond for FleurBrun, I really appreciate it. And I need an attorney for the rights of animals because YouTube called me a terrorist. So because YouTube has labeled me as a terrorist, I had to change. You know how people go bankrupt? I had to change because now being a brown female is now being targeted. So I decided maybe being a trans frog would give me more rights. So any attorney who can work on my behalf, I am no longer a brown indigenous female. I am now a frog. I'm working on my greenness. You know, I'm just, okay. All right, we're gonna get into the topic in a minute. I just need a donation of a pond. Any pond, y'all, just big enough so I could fit all the frogginess. Okay. Frogs Lives Matter. Frog, I'm dropping a tune with the first female frog rap coming to a neighborhood near you, y'all. I'll sit in your ponds if you'll donate a pond to me. I just, yeah, make sure it's a little, yeah, I like it a little warm though. Ribbit, ribbit, hippity hop. Oh, hippity hippity hop, bang bang. That's a good one. I'm gonna write that down. All right, are we almost at 500? We got 9 more to go. Hippity 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 hop, hop hop, hip hop. Oh, that's right. That's hip hop. So maybe hip hop was started by frogs. Maybe they didn't get the credit, y'all, because it's called hippity hop. I think frogs started hip hop. Yo, they ain't never get the credit to the frogs, y'all. I'm a trans frog. Anybody coming in the room, please? I'm no longer a racist brown woman. I am now a trans frog. So please don't come in here saying that FleurBrun is a racist and that I'm a terrorist, because that's what YouTube call me. They call me a terrorist. I'm just a frog trying to get a lily pad on a pond in South America. Okay, y'all, we're gonna start off. So peace, everybody. Peace to the east, the west, and the south. This is Frog FleurBrun coming to you today with a new hip hop share. I got a lot of time on my hands. Anyway, so I wanted to get into the discussion of what's going on. Straight frogging it. Anyway, hip hop, hibbity hibbity hip hop, ribbit to the right, bang, brick to the ribbit to the rib to the ribbity beat. Ribbit. Earthlings, ribbit. Earthlings, ribbit. Any attorney. I need an animal rights attorney, please. Just email me so I can go to the federal government to gain my rights, so I don't need a passport or anything. I'm just gonna hop on my lily pad over pond. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so let's get into the topic. We're gonna talk about the the purple light beams. I was given some information, so I wanted to share it with y'all. This is actually great news, and I think that's why the purple lights are being distributed all over the United States. I think it's also in Europe. Can anyone confirm if the purple lights are in Europe? I'm not sure if the other Sea Star told us if the purple lights were in Europe, but let me know. I don't think they're in Africa. I'm unsure if they're in the Caribbean. Can anyone let me know if there's any purple lights going on in the Caribbean? I know Puerto Rico, I had word that there's some purple lights there. DR, I think there was a denotion in the capital that there was some purple lights. So just let me know if anybody can tell me if there's purple lights in any of the other countries. Anyway, so I wanted to share some information. It's very important. I'm unsure if they're going to let this video stay up. It doesn't matter because YouTube has called me a terrorist, so I might as well act terroristic. Okay, I'm not the one going on bombing children and doing all kinds of crazy things, jumping on people, beating them up, robbing liquor stores. Frogs don't even drink liquor. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm a little bitter, y'all. I'm a bitter frog. I'm a bitter frog, okay? So we're going to talk about the purple lights and what really they mean. Also, we're going to talk about the purple beam rainbow exodus, and it will literally be the eviction out of this Earth simulation. The fact that I can remember that is amazing. Put a like on the video if you're up for the shenanigans to make sure that the YouTube who called FleurBrun a terrorist knows we about that life. And I'm going to drop my ribbit, my hip hop ribbit album. You know, I'm dropping it in December on, I think the site is called OnlyFans. I think so. Joking, y'all. I don't even know what OnlyFans does. I'm trolling. Okay, so now we're going to talk about what happened. So I was made aware of what the purple lights are really meant for, and I'm grateful that I can give this information to you. I think they give me this information. They give me little bits of information that I can disperse it without them really doing anything about it. So many of you know I experienced the rainbow event about I don't know how many years ago. I think it was roughly, 2016 or 17. I experienced the rainbow event where I actually was no, I think Allison Coe, who is a QHHT, that's why I mentioned Dolores Cannon at the beginning. She had actually done a QHHT reading at the time. Big up to Quantum Sensei. It was 2017, thank you. Quantum Sensei was the one, you and Selma, Quantum Sensei and Selma were the ones who told me about a little bit about what was going on with the reading that Allison Coe had done regarding a rainbow event that would come, that would literally change the terrain, the consciousness, the planet in itself here. And I remember I was going to the Bronx, and you know, Sensei has to take credit for this. I got to give her credit because she told me about it. I didn't listen to everything. She had shared the video, and I had experienced the rainbow event in the South Bronx. South Bronx, South Bronx, ribbit, South Bronx, South Bronx, ribbit. I'm so corny. So I had experienced the rainbow event, and many of you can go back to that video. Some of you are new to me, so you would have to go and reference that. I was given interviews on that. It was only 2 of us who actually experienced the rainbow event. It was myself and a gentleman from Portugal named Neo. Can anyone find Neo? Neo was amazing. He's such a sweetheart. He actually, and I think this is the whole duality thing, the polarities played out, because Neo is shorter and a lunar who's Portuguese well, he's Portuguese, and he experienced the rainbow event off planet, whereas I am, you know, FleurBrun here, and I'm a brown copper woman who's from here, and I'm taller and bigger, and I experienced the rainbow event on planet, on the hologram inside the simulation. It was interesting because Neo had a wonderful perspective. I think at the time, YouTube and a lot of other of the Willy Wonka systems were trying to stop or sharing what happened. And now I realize now, because hindsight is 2020, that the reason why we experienced the event, it was a preamp of what's to come. I got to give props to him because he was the only other one that experienced the actual rainbow event at the same time, simultaneously. I actually was able to take on the rainbow event physically where he had to go off world. I think I have. Hold on now. Okay. So hold on. Okay. Hold on. Are you going out? I have company, y'all. Hold on. Okay. I had company. I have to keep some anonymity to my company. Okay. So I apologize for that. I hate to keep you out of everything, but I don't share everything. Okay. So I had the is everybody here still? Are you guys here? Hello? Ribbit? Hello? Ribbit? Let me know that you're here. Put it 13. Okay. Oh, you can hear me, okay. It's very loud, okay. Sorry about. What's that? What are you doing, Cookie? You being naughty? Okay, sorry about that. Sorry for the interruption. It was a froggy situation. Okay, so I had gone through the event, and this occurred with the Rainbow event that happened in the South Bronx. Many people were very upset in the whole love and light community. They thought, how dare you, big fat brown woman, experience. Hold on, y'all. I'm so sorry, everybody. I was hearing a lot of noise in the sound, and that was just bad. Sorry, y'all. Put a 13 if you hear it. I hate interruptions. I apologize. That's all on me. Just let me know if you can still hear me. Put a 13 if you can still hear me. I apologize about that. Sometimes I don't like doing that, but if I hear a weird sound, I got to react to it. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, so I experienced the Rainbow event. People were very upset in the love and light community. They felt like they were insulted that a brown woman who was going in the South Bronx had experienced the Rainbow event. They felt like it was below them to acknowledge that I experienced the Rainbow event. So many of you know at the time, I had some amazing interviewers who interviewed me at the time when I had the Rainbow event occur. And Neo actually, he had multiple interviews. I really appreciated his perspective on what he experienced as well. So if you remember Neo, again, I don't know where he is. I never got a chance to talk to him. Allison Coe was really demonized because a lot of people felt that she had said something that was untrue, and a lot of people were waiting for it and they didn't experience it, and they really went after her. And because I experienced it, they felt like it was it was something that they didn't want to acknowledge. And that's what I'm saying. The love and light community, don't let them fool you. Oh no, they are very hateful. And I was interviewed on this gentleman's show. He was really sweet. And I just remember this because at the time it was such a beautiful, exciting experience. It wasn't anything I would have acknowledged that happened to me, that could have happened to me. And when it did, I felt kind of torn a little bit, if I can be honest, because of the way I was treated. And I shouldn't have been shocked, but I really was. I think I wasn't so much shocked as I was caught off, because these are the people who claim that they don't see color. They'll say, I don't see color, even though they wear like a red bag and with red shoes. They don't see color. They said these things, and they really were insulted that in the South Bronx, they felt like living somewhere in a bougie town where they've accrued a lot of income to sit and do yoga all day and, do communes with the angelic, Pelagians with blonde hair, blue eyes. And, they were doing meditations with, 5,000 pops of ayahuasca. Like they felt it was beneath them to even acknowledge that I may have experienced the Rainbow event in the Boogie Down Bronx. I share this all to say because what I'm going to share with you is very important. And at the time, I think I knew that the phenomenon was really a big deal. And it stayed on me, that rainbow energy stayed on me. If you were around at the time, rainbow energy was on me. It transmuted me. It made me, just really because it was in me, it just made me into an amazing person. Like I felt bliss, and in a way that I haven't ever experienced before. So it lasted roughly about 2 weeks. And, Rudolph of Germany also was the one who assisted me during this Rainbow event. Many of you know, I know that many of you may not have an affinity for Rudolph, the tall white aliens, but just at the time, if he didn't give me the verbal cue that I would be okay, I don't know that I would have properly made the interface with the rainbow. Okay, so all this to say, you can check out the old videos. YouTube took a lot of it down. If you want me to reference it, I can also probably find one of the videos. I saved a lot of my videos from YouTube and try to find it and then upload it to my Rumble account. So let's fast forward now with, I realized at the time of the Rainbow event that we were experiencing this type of change or shifting every single March. It's like a cylindrical pattern, and around March time, and if you remember, at this time on 2011, 2011, there was this phenomenon that was occurring. Now, some of you who are from this community kind of remember it, but I'll just refresh you. 2011, there was this phenomenon that was happening to the black birds. Do you remember, everyone, when the blackbirds were dropping out from the sky? It started in Arkansas. Anybody from Arkansas, you probably remember this first. 2011 was the first time publicly it was denoted that massive amount of blackbirds dropped out of the sky and died. Okay, do you remember that? Anyone in Arkansas, I think you guys definitely would be the first time witnesses of that. It was a phenomenon that we in a certain community were looking at, which is like, you know, really, really intricately. Then again in 2012, it occurred again in January. That's when I realized that there was something going on where it was occurring in a cylindrical pattern, like almost like a program every January. And you know, the social media and the news, the fake news was saying, oh, it's because of the fireworks that they died or they dropped out of the sky. I mean, the birds obviously were, some of them had broken necks. Some of them just looked like they had heart attacks. It didn't make sense. It happens, I think, about 3 to 4 years in a row. January, it started to happen more frequently throughout the years. Like not so much January, like sometimes in the rest of the year, like sometimes in April, you know, in November, and sometimes December. But notably, the beginning of the phenomenon that you would call the killing of the birds dying, blackbirds specifically, was in January. Now, after the January of 2011, 2012, 2013, then you also started to notice the beaching of the whales, the dolphins were coming on, mass deaths of fish, like multitude of places where fish were showing up on shore or floating in the ocean where they transitioned. Okay, so I wanted to share that because we're gonna build right now. So around that time, we had these phenomena that were occurring. Later on, when I experienced the Rainbow event, in 2015, I experienced some weird kind of physical, like I started to get heart palpitations. And I wasn't sure what was going on. It was frightening. For many of you know, if you've ever experienced like fluttering in your heart, and it wasn't something you've ever experienced before, you know that it could be frightening. So I was a big faster. You know, many of you know I fast during the season. So I would do a fast. I would do like a green juice fast for maybe spring. Then I would do like another fast, like a water fast for like 7 days during the fall. I would do a fast every season to kind of reset my body. And I was working out and healthy. I wasn't as heavy as I am now, but many of you know that I was pregnant. So obviously I'm a lot thicker now. I was just recently pregnant with 2 babies. Okay. So I'm just a little thicker now, but then I was more in shape. You know, I was healthy. I was working out all the time. I was dancing, and I experienced these heart palpitations in 2015. And what occurred is that I couldn't understand where they were coming from. And I had gone to a physician and tried to get a synopsis of, you know, a breakdown of where it was coming from. And they did multiple tests on the heart, blood screening, things that I actually asked them to do, you know, just to see if there was anything health-wise that were the reasoning for these heart palpitations. And unfortunately, at the time, there was gratefully, let me say, gratefully at the time, I was 1000% healthy. I had a beautiful, healthy heart, great blood screening because I fast all the time and I was dancing. So obviously I'm healthy, you know, and the doctor had said at the time, you know, we think that you're suffering from anxiety. Anxiety? Now, if you remember, y'all, FleurBrun, you know, I've had some things that happen in my life that, you know, was less than flattering, but anxiety wasn't one of the things that, you know, you think to yourself, like, why anxiety? I was dancing all the time. I felt great about my body. I had just done Carnival. I had danced in Carnival in Orlando, Florida. What was I anxiety ridden about? So I'm building, y'all. So just stay with me. Purple Ground Beam is your new rap name. Jose's in the house. What up, Jose? He said his new rap name is gonna be Purple Ground Beam. I love it. So at the time, the doctors just said it's probably anxiety. I didn't know where it was coming from. And first of all, they tried to give me a whole bunch of drugs, you know, because your United fakes and its pharmaceutical and medical, its medical community are a bunch of jokes. Okay, they'd like to medicate you and make you addicted to drugs and opioids and all that stuff, rather than dealing with the core of a young lady who's experiencing a phenomenon that doesn't have any origin. But I'm going to tell you something, y'all. So at the time, I went to Dr. Don. Many of you've listened to the interview I done with Dr. Don on Blog Talk or seen him when I've had him on YouTube. He's an amazing naturopathic doctor, holistic. I've given a lot of the regimens that Dr. Don gave me, but he let me know that Orlando was a beta test city for 5G. I'm building, y'all. I'm getting there for 5G. He let me know that. And that what I most likely was experiencing with the heart palpitations was the initiation of a new technology that was causing and emitting a frequency that was destabilizing and causing animals and human bodies to react in ways that they didn't have any reference for. Why is this important? Because it's hugely under announced or under reported how many people during the time, especially the beta test cities, Orlando was one, there's probably a multitude of cities that you guys were in that it happened to you, that at the fact, and probably in Arkansas, you also most likely had towers or a new 5G towers that were being initiated or turned on at the time. We know now the birds were reacting to this frequency that was causing them to go through a form of like mental inertia, and they were dropping out of the sky because it was, you know, their little brains weren't able to take on this sonic type of technology, this frequency that was causing them to become disoriented and inevitably falling from the sky to the floor. Okay, and because you know, I was experiencing this type of heart palpitation, this physical heart palpitation that was affecting me. It also was denoted at the time. I spoke to another naturopathic doctor I think he was located in California, where he also said that people, and this is where that's why I say, you know, I've become a trans frog, because people are calling me prejudiced for denoting that darker skinned people take in frequencies, and they take it in higher doses because melanin attracts frequencies. It does. So because I was a darker skinned female, I was pulling in the 5G frequencies. I was taking in these frequencies, and it was causing my body to react like disharmonious. You know what I mean? Like my harmony was off, my beat was off. Okay. And why do I mention the melanin? Because what were the first birds that dropped from the sky, y'all? What color were the birds that dropped from the sky in January of 2011? Because you call me a racist. So you say that we're all the same. You don't see color, but what color were the birds that dropped from the sky in 2011? Were they white birds? Were they blue birds? Were they red birds? Okay. So why do I share this is because, you know, there needs to be an acknowledgement that everybody experiences something that happens to them because biologically they're more susceptible to it. To denounce someone else's experience because you feel uncomfortable about them denoting it isn't my problem. The fact of the matter is, all of these birds that dropped first were black birds. Why? Is because black, it has a wider range of I told you, a wider bandwidth. It takes in more frequencies. So when I turn on the goddamn frequencies of this 5G, it literally messed with people with darker skin. It just did. And when I experienced, not to say it didn't anybody else, because a lot of lunars experienced it, a lot of my lunar girlfriends experienced it later, but initially, who it first affected was brown people who were taking in these frequencies who didn't know where it was coming from. To acknowledge that, if you call me a racist for acknowledging it, you can't call me that because I'm a frog now. I'm a trans frog. So if you call me that, you're just totally out of loop. You're out of the lily pad, genre to say that, okay? It was affecting them. And what happens is that when I was experiencing these heart palpitations and one of the naturopathic doctors, I think he's from California, LA, as a matter of fact, he was saying that a lot of people who were, a couple people that were coming from, I think it was India at the time. I think it was, I'm not sure if it was Bangladesh. They were having the same types of reactions, okay? Now, why does that matter? I'm going to build upon this because now, as time went on, remember the frequencies first initially probably affected those people, but inevitably it affected everybody. So yes, I'm just saying the beta test of the frequencies literally was affecting the black birds and people of darker hues, but inevitably it started to affect the bees, it started to affect the other birds, it started to affect lunar women, light-eyed, light-haired, it started to affect men. Men were having issues with having like pre-stroke and let me explain something to YouTube. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not talking about any medical information. This is my own personal experience and what I denoted caused issues with me and my body. And actually medical doctors were the ones who told me that I was reacting to a frequency called 5G that was causing a destabilizing of my body. And many of you know, because I was fasting all the time, because I probably was getting a wider bandwidth, people were having double periods, right? So I just was pulling in these frequencies and I didn't have any reference point. So why does this make a difference? At the time, you have to realize that when they put on this new technology and it was causing our bodies to be disharmonious, and then eventually it didn't just affect the black birds, it affected all the birds. The bees were dying, the bees were dropping. Remember, I think in 2015, 16, the bees, we were seeing bees, the bees dropping on the floor. I mean, I remember I was in the backyard and I was wondering my bees, because I have a beautiful flower patch in the backyard, and the bees were struggling and it seemed like they were disoriented. I saw a bee and he was just going in a circle and circle, and I took him up and put him in my little fairy garden and he felt better, but I put him in a little bubble, like a little dome. And it seemed like whatever was happening frequency-wise, he was being affected by it. Okay, so that being said, we're going to talk about what's happening and where the Rainbow event is going to be the exit and the eviction of people out of this particular firmament Earth simulation, and how the purple lights is literally being erected all over the place as a way to get you numb so that you won't understand what that means to you specifically. Okay, so the other night I was made aware that the purple lights that we are seeing all over the place were being placed strategically around places. Now, I can't vet out, let me state this, I can't vet out why they're placed there, like why they're being specifically placed in certain, like sometimes you'll see in one city the purple lights will be on one street but they won't be on all the other streets, or you'll see the purple lights only set up in one or area, like by an arena or by a bus stop, but they won't be anywhere else. They're being purposefully, strategically placed around cities around the United States. Now, for my European family, my African diaspora family, my family from Asia, please let me know if you have the purple lights, because then I can bring in the references to the purple lights to you. But I definitely know that they're getting people used to it. And I want to thank Yafi for sharing some pictures of the purple lights that were happening in Israel at some sort of event. Also, for this event that happened with the Xi Jinping that came over here to come to his new country. Because y'all, if you didn't know, China, this is Chinese, this is China, America, okay? China, Xinhua bought this entire country, okay? Just letting you know. So when he came and he had flags and everything, everybody was upset about it. But why are you upset? Because he bought all this real estate here in the United States. Whether you accept it or not, or whether your government, your Willy Wonka told you that you are no longer in the United States of America and that you're living in China, at least half of it in China or 75%, you know, whatever, you know what I mean? That's on you, okay? But at the event that, konnichiwa, you know, ni hao, ni hao, I told y'all to learn some Mandarin. Don't get mad at me because I told you what time it is. You always like to say, I got a problem with something. I'm respecting the fact that this is United States. Is not the United States anymore. It's bankrupt. They get rid of all the money out of the vaults. All your cash money is now depreciated. They giving all your money over to, they gave all the money over to the Zionists over in what is it? Ukraine, and now they're giving it to the Zionists over in Israel. Y'all, listen, we might as well say we live in the hood. I don't care how bougie your house is. You about to be reconfigured by Xinhua coming to your house claiming it. It's a whole nother form of gentrification, y'all. I'm not, listen, okay, I'm gonna stop, because you guys, I'm a frog now, so I'm not racist. I can't be racist, how am I gonna be racist as a frog? I'm a trans frog. If you say anything about me, I can literally have a problem with you, okay? But I kind of went off the topic, okay? So, the other day, they literally had some purple lasers coming up from the event when Xi Jinping came to visit San Francisco, which they cleaned up. And let me just put another sidebar. I'm sorry, I gotta put another sidebar. I told you about them 50-cent, 25-cent burgers. If you wonder where the homeless people are, you need to look in your sandwiches. I hate to be the bearer of bad news or tell you things that's gonna traumatize your peace of mind, but if you're still eating hamburgers, listen what they call hamburgers. And you know where pork is associated with human flesh. I'm just saying, you want to eat the 25-cent free burgers from McDonald's and all these other places. Where did the homeless people go and where did their bodies go? You should always look in the meat, because it's easy to ground up some beef that you know, it's easy to ground up meat and not know what's in it. Just a little sidebar there, okay? They cleaned up San Francisco real quick. You know, you had all those 10 cities. Where'd those people go? But you had a whole lot of free hamburgers, didn't you? I'm just saying. We do. What was the hamburger? How come we don't have the hamburger songs anymore? The Ronald McDonald songs. Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry. That's a soy lynch. That's a soy lent story for another time. Let me just go, okay? So they had the purple lights, and what I was given as information is that the reason why they have the purple lights all over the place is they're trying to desensitize you, just like the rainbow. What they did with the rainbow. Now, y'all, I'm a trans frog. I don't really have a lily pad in this race. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just gonna say, back in the days, the rainbow was associated with little girls, okay? When I was a little girl, remember Rainbow Bright? I love Rainbow Bright. Remember what was it? The bears, the Care Bears, the rainbow. Whee! Remember the My Little Pony? My Little Pony, My Little Pony. Remember like My Little Pony? Remember all the rainbows? Remember Punky Brewster? Punky Brewster had a cute little thing. She was adorable, right? And she's a busty bab. Let me get a shout out to Punky Brewster, who was another busty one. Y'all always get on me, but you didn't get mad at Punky Brewster when she got some big bums, you know, big tatas too, right? You didn't say anything to her. She was a busty one, beautiful little girl. She turned out to be a beautiful young lady, right? So remember all those rainbow references. Did you ever hear references to rainbows to males? I just want to know. Let me know. Am I off the board here? Do you ever remember them having any sort of references to rainbows and boys? or little boys? Did you ever see little boys when we grew up wearing rainbow outfits, putting rainbows on their shirts? Remember remember our panties, girls? We had our little Fruit of the Looms, and they had rainbows on it. Did you ever see your baby brother wearing rainbows on his underwear, on his Fruit of the Looms? Did you ever see remember our lunch boxes? We had our little cute little lunch boxes. You know, we have all these different, look at Rainbow Food Rocks, Rainbow Food Rocks. Did you ever see on our lunch boxes for little boys to have little rainbows on their lunch boxes? It was always associated with females, okay? Little girls. Why is it now that they took the rainbow? And mind you, y'all, they changed it. You're not gonna see it. Remember, I told you about the Matrix and this simulation. All of the changes that you consider to be Mandela effects, they're updates. Nobody else says it. If they try to say that they've said it, it's the only thing that I know and created myself. So if other channels are saying it after the fact, it was me who said it, because I know it, because I'm the only one who said it. Okay, I hate when people on other channels trying to act like they brand new. Okay, I don't say that they shouldn't say it, but definitely know where it came from. Okay, it was updates. So during the updates, they took the rainbow, and not only did they take the rainbow, they inverted it. So if you try to look online, you could have initially when they first transferred it, but if you look online now, you'll see that all the rainbows are inverted. When we were younger, you'll notice that the purple was on top and the red was on the bottom. Now, and you can look in all the outfits. If you can go on eBay, because eBay is really good, you'll look at how the rainbow stuff was built. It was like the purple was on top and the red was on the bottom. Okay, they changed it when the violet is now on the bottom and the red is on top. And you know, red is associated with the base of your chakra system. It's the fight, flight, and fornication. It's the basis, it's the root of your chakra system. Why would you invert it? Put the red on top, which is the root, and the violet on the bottom, which is the crown, and give it to a group of people and associate it with homosexuality? I'm just asking. Why would you then associate it? Now, when I say homosexuality, they basically gave it to that group. And not only did they give it to the group, the majority of the group that accepted it, not so much the lesbian women, which maybe they do, it was mostly gay males who were rocking the rainbow now. I'm just saying, this is facts. This is not prejudice. I can't be prejudiced because I'm a frog. I don't have a lily pad. I don't have a lily pad in this battle. I'm just noting the observation. A rainbow that was associated with little girls and females was now totally hijacked and transversed, turned inverted, and then gentrified and taken. Does it smell like like a new group colonized the rainbow, okay, and used to associate only homosexuals? So now little girls, listen, I will go to the store and my little ones won't want to use the rainbow because they don't want to be associated as being homosexual. That is the saddest part about it. Most little girls now are afraid to go and pick out a rainbow outfit, even if it looks similar to something they would wear. They won't go and wear it because they think they're going to be labeled as homosexual. Okay? Does that sound familiar? You listen, the United Fakes and the whole, the Jesuit crew, the Knights of Templar, the Dark Kabbalist, the Willy Wonka systems, they've all they like to gentrify. They colonize everything. They invert it, and then they act like it's theirs. And then when you say anything otherwise, if you say anything about the rainbow, they'd be the first one call you you're a bigot. Oh, you're what is it? You're transphobic. You're homophobic. How are you going to be homophobic if you state a fact? Like, how is that a homophobic statement when I'm stating an opposite observation? That was little girls' thing. That was women's whole beautiful connection to the rainbow. And you totally took it, gentrified the sucker, colonized it, and inverted the symbology. And now you have only one demographics of people, which were in the 60s denoted to being mentally ill. taking on the rainbow, and nobody else could touch it. It's just like the 13. It's just like the swastika. It's just like the black cat. It's everything. They always take what's powerful, invert it, and only use it for themselves. Why is this conversation important? Believe me, I'm going to put this on my Rumble, y'all, because I already know. Because remember, YouTube called me a terrorist. So they want a terrorist conversation. We're going to have a real conversation. See, they like to have the love and lighters. They like to have the fake UFO people. They like to have the fake conscious people. Keep it just very limited. Uphold themselves to only a socially engineered conversation. But FleurBrun is a mom. And a mom that feels okay to speak about things. And I'm a woman of a certain age. Big up to the Gen Xers in this mother freaker. Okay? So now you have this whole hijacking of the rainbow. Now, I'm going to tell you why this is important and why the purple beams are important. What happened is that I was made aware that when we're doing our exodus out of this firmament, outside of the simulation, when you're waking up in your cryo state pod, you will see the purple lights. The purple lights are indicators of where we exit. Each one of us will be led to a particular ley line, to a particular landmass, which has these purple lights that shoot up to the sky. It comes out of the ground. I don't know how it does it, but it will shoot up from the ground out into the sky. That is where we exit. What they're doing is they're hijacking it so that you are getting numb to seeing the purple lights, and that if you see it everywhere, you won't be able to recognize where you exit, stage left or right. That's why they're doing it. Why they're putting it in specific areas, I personally think that maybe they know that those purple lights may show up in that arena. So what they're doing is putting these purple lights to cloak and dagger the places that you would see your signal light to leave this firmament, this nightmare of a simulation that's about to go buck wild in this piece. Okay? And the rainbow event is the preamp to it. So what happens is that there's a lot of radiation that happens at this time, and the rainbow will show up. Just like Fukushima, and also with what happened in Chernobyl, when there was a lot of radiation, you saw multiple rainbows show up around those facilities because the radiation causes this effect. You see it a lot of times with, like, when it rains, you'll see like this rainbow show up. A lot of you are seeing more rainbows in the sky now because they have so much nanoparticulates, and it has a reflective kind of look. And also the dome is being illuminated. So I think it's also like a Pyrex, like almost like the light showing in, and it's giving this effect of the rainbow that's showing up all over. Because a lot of times, whenever you were seeing, especially when I had the rainbow event, whenever there was a heightened amount of radiation, all of a sudden I would see rainbows all over my light fixtures. That's how I knew they were turning up the 5G. Because I was interfacing with the rainbow event, I have this new ability that whenever they turn up the frequency and they turn up the radiation, it's a unique thing that happened to me with experiencing the rainbow event. I will see rainbows on light fixtures in cars and all over the place when they turn up crank up the Shang-Chi. Okay, and what they're doing with that is they hijacked the rainbow so that you feel a certain way about the rainbow. So those who are so-called straight, and I don't even like that term because I'm a frog. I don't care. I don't have a lily pad in this conversation, but just to have this conversation with you, they hijacked the rainbow. So now if you see it anywhere, you automatically will think it's associated with homosexual people. And then when you see the purple lights, you won't be able to delineate or to distinguish between the lights that are shooting up from the floor that tell you when to go, because you're going to be driven for your exodus. You're going to get this calling inside of your belly. And also, I will tell you, there's one key per light that comes out of the ground. So during this exodus, when we get basically evicted from this holographic simulation, you have one key member that goes to each one of these purple light laser locations, and they're the person that allows for the initiation of exodus outside of the firmament. Until they show up, the people there won't be able to leave. So it's almost like there's like a Moses per location. Okay, I know for a fact I'm one. So I have to show up at my laser purple light. But again, they're purposefully putting all these purple lights so you won't be able to distinguish which one, and you wouldn't even know it, because you're being so numbed by it, and you're being purposefully shown these lights so that you won't distinguish when the lights come out of the ground coming into these locations where you're supposed to go and exit, because they know that during this time you're supposed to go to those places. And I'm going to remind everyone, whenever you have an exodus, you have to see that everyone coming into United Fakes, they're coming in from other locations because they're doing their exodus. As much as people are doing their exodus in the United States, you're supposed to do your exodus out of the United States. Why you won't hear other YouTubers tell you to do it, why they're going to tell you to stay into the United States, is because they're part of the simulation. Most likely, they're each agent Smiths. They might be NPCs. They're working for the system of the AI Smithitarians that are keeping you locked and loaded here. But do know, if you get 1 million soldier males who are coming into the United States and they're being invited, y'all, I'm just going to remind you, during the time when your holographic mask wearing fake president of mass destruction had his fake inauguration, if you remember, they had waves of these herds. Go back to the news. See, some of you forget what happened. Remember, they said these herds are on the way to the United States as soon as we were having the fake election, because they were getting invitations from their countries. They were coming in with Biden shirts, okay? They had Biden t-shirts, and when they were coming, they were basically saying his name over and over again as directed, because they were giving invitations. Why does this matter to you? Is because if you remember, when this ley line, which the United Fakes used to be another country with a lot of indigenous tribes, when they wanted to take over the United Fakes, what did they do? They didn't have the numbers. So what did they do? They went into Europe. I got homegirls who told me this with their grandparents. They got invitations in Europe saying, hey, come to the United Fakes, free land. You could come. You could start over again. You can get away from Queen Lizzie and Elizabeth and the lizard of mass destruction. And you could bring your whole family. You don't have to be under tyranny, throwing poop out the window. You could come. You don't have to worry about yellow disease, red death, black death. Okay? So you could come over. So when they came over, they weren't told that a whole bunch of indigenous were already living here. They were just given the invitation. Like the migrants. Does it smell like a similar thing with the migrants? So when they got here and they saw the indigenous, they were like, yo, we didn't know we were coming over to the United States and it was going to be people living in. Oh, well, listen, don't worry about it. We're going to give you arms so that you can gentrify, just, incentivize the native savages to leave. So everyone who likes to have your gun rights, you must realize the only reason you have it is because that was part of the Constitution. It was added to the Constitution because it was a way of sanitizing the whole savages that were living over here harmonious with each other, or non, because some of them were savages too. They were buck wild too. And it was their landmass where they were living, so they could do whatever they want. But they were incentivized and given arms, and so they could sanitize and get rid of all of the disgusting, savage, bare-breasted, brown, copper, indigenous, Asiatic people here. Okay? So why do I share this? Because this is a program, y'all. I told you this is a simulation. It's always going to be the same simulation over and over again. So what do you see? Your fake holographic non-president sending invitations with his own agencies going over into South America, Africa, over in the Middle East, giving invitations, because these men are not coming over with their families, y'all. Okay. Oh, hold on. I got company. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Oh, that's a package. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay. So, coming over to the country, you said Westworld, coming over to the country, incentivizing all this madness, coming over and doing exactly the same thing. So where did you have initially? Did you remember when all of a sudden you saw a plane going over and coming from Afghanistan? Do you forget how many people came over on those planes? Remember when they told the whole, you know how you'll go through the airport and you basically will go through the airport and they will check you. They'll check your shoes. They'll check your shirt. They'll check your brassiere. They'll check your ears. And they say, no, you can't come through TSA without being violated, scanned, radiated. No, they want to check you. But when the whole thing, the shenanigans happened in Afghanistan and they were over there and they said, oh, they're being takeover and hostile. They left over like $1 billion worth of military equipment, and they let all these Afghanistanis in the country unvetted, saying that they had to rescue. Remember, they were climbing all over the plane, coming in the United States, coming in. Guess what they told TSA, y'all? They said, TSA, don't check those people. They were already violated. Why would you hone in and check them? Why are you going to go and put their stuff all over? Oh, that's good. I saw. Yeah. I saw it. Yeah. You what? Did you drop it like it's hot? That's how you got it? I'll talk to you about what here. Yeah. So, you know, they let them on the plane. They said, don't check those people. They've been violated, as if the Native Americans weren't violated enough. You can't let them be checked. Just let them bring their militant weapons of mass destruction, their payloads of viruses in their bodies. Just let them come in the country. We're a free nation. Why should we make them feel marginalized like we do our own population of people? You know, so you and your tax dollars was paying for all of these people climbing all over the plane like a plague of roaches coming into a new country and unvetted, not checked, and they left a whole $1 billion worth of equipment down there, which one of the Sea Stars went over there to do a whole, she went over there in Afghanistan, you know, to go and visit, and they were seeing all of the U.S. military outfits, fatigues, guns, all the holders being sold by the Afghanistan markets, being sold. But your tax dollars, you know, but your IRS won't let you not pay taxes, right? You can go to the doctor's appointment with the high medical that you basically are going to quacks who are either going to medicate you or try to cut off something or make you get a medication that helps with one thing but gives you 50 other side effects in another way, right? But, and also your tax dollars, which literally is weaponizing and giving everybody free medical all over Europe, but you have to go to the doctor and barely lose your pension and use all your money to try to just maintain your health after being chemicalized, poisoned with chemtrails, food of mass destruction, water that has a whole bunch of fluoride that was purposefully put in there by the wonderful Nazis that were contracted by your Willy Wonka assisted government that brought them in here after they just practiced on a whole bunch of Jews in the concentration camps, after they told them that they were going to freedom cities. I'm just saying. Do I sound like a rapper? I could rap, y'all, right? Hip hop, a hibbity to hibbity, hip hop, hibbity to the bang bang. I'm a rapper, y'all. Okay? I don't know if I'm sorry, if I'm a racist for sharing this with you, talking about people in the Middle East. I don't have a lily pad in this fight, y'all. I'm just saying. I'm just mentioning things that I'm observing as a United States fellow citizen, and how it's interesting that you make us go through a whole rigmarole going through the airport, getting checked up our rectum. You darn near give us a pap smear when we go through TSA, but you gonna let a whole bunch of people that you've already subjugated to war, bombs, killed their grandmothers, let their children be beheaded, and then you go and just let everybody come in here unvetted. I'm just saying, I don't know. Maybe I'm mentally ill. Maybe I'm not telling the truth, but I just think that's interesting. Well, you have to pay your medical and you getting a whole bunch of, you have paid for, you got to work your whole life in a job that pays you bare minimum and get medical that is nearly not even comparable to those in so-called third world countries that most people are going to Mexico, Colombia, and Brazil to go get a doctor's appointment because you're trying to kill them. But I'm just, don't listen to the frog. I'm a trans frog. What do I know? I don't even have a lily pad in a pond in this. You know what I'm saying? Put a like on the video if you're up for the shenanigans today. I'm sure this video will be taken down. Because remember, YouTube told FleurBrun that she's a terrorist. I'm on here spewing terrorist information. I'm basically telling you lies and mass destruction. I'm just a mom. What would I know? You know what I'm saying? How could I speak this? Why? Because most channels are punks. Like all these channels that say, oh, don't come on my channel and say anything about this. Don't come on my channel and say anything about the cucaracha shot. Don't say any cucaracha shot on my channel. Don't talk about things that'll take away my money and mass destruction because I'm getting paid. I'm getting monetary compensation from a company that baited and switched us, told us that we were on a free website that was going to allow us to express ourselves fully. And then as soon as you start building up, everybody's coming over to YouTube. Now you bring in NBC, ABC, and all these bastards, and then you start limiting and censoring our conversation and literally uplifting people who are punks on YouTube. Because anybody on YouTube that got more than 700, 300, 100,000 subscribers who's so-called speaking the truth, unless they getting hit and called terrorists or their videos are getting taken off, they are the sellouts. Yeah, I said it. And no, I'm not drinking vodka and I'm not drinking liquor. I'm actually sober. I'm drug free. I have to drink water that is shipped in from another country because our water systems are so jacked up from all kinds of fluoride, chemicalized Magellans, all kinds of graphene, weapons of mass destruction. And then God knows what other opioids and other things they pumping in our water. So I got to go and ship water from another country where we give them free medical because our country, we're just basically used as chattel to allow the Queen Lizzie's colonies of mass destruction to live better than the United States. Welcome to the end, friend. Don't worry. They're gonna set out they're probably gonna put out a nice little, a weaponized lasers on my house to try to fry the brain. But unfortunately and gratefully, I'm a frog in mass destruction, so we're not really impeded by that. And I could just hop over to another border. Big up to everybody who's jumping ship out of the United States because it's on and popping, okay? All right, so y'all, all these purple lights that they're putting up, it's to basically bait and switch you and to make you numb so that you won't see where you're supposed to go at the time when you're supposed to see those purple lights. All of the Willy Wonka systems in every one of these countries, for the most part, is trying to kill its citizens, okay? They've weaponized your food. They've dominated all of social media with all these Zionists and Jesuits that are basically telling you things that are lies and mass destruction to make you feel and coddle you and make you feel like everything's safe. For those who are still watching Super Bowls and going to celebrate the wonderful Thanksgiving, which basically is a celebration of all the murders and gentrification and colonization of the indigenous that barely didn't make it. And all of the other native tribes that are sitting here are the sellouts that allowed the other native groups to basically be killed and savagely genocided. You're going to be celebrating Thanksgiving next week, enjoying your turkey and mass destruction that the natives, beautifully shared effortlessly with such love in their hearts to help the new visitors to acclimate to their world, while the new visitors said, oh, we like your beautiful land. Yeah, let me just take in everything, and let me put some smallpox on blankets so that I can murder your children and basically give viruses to all of you so we can get rid of you fast enough so we could take on your land without having any complications. Enjoy Thanksgiving next week, y'all. I'm glad, but I'm a racist though. I'm sorry, I'm just a frog. I don't really have a lily pad and a pond in this battle. You know what I'm saying? When I called myself a Carib, I was called the hater and called arrogant for stating what I was genetically, because, you know, reminiscent, showing a brown copper woman who literally remembers and doesn't have any sort of dominating traits of those who came and genocided other people and other nations that she's associated with. You know, God forbid I can actually say that I'm a native and actually say that with free reign, because remember, they thought that they killed all of us. When a couple of us pop out of the closet like, oh, shoot, a bone, a native bone. Oh my God, she's a Negro. Oh, we can't tell her she's a Negro. Oh, don't let her come out. she's gonna let everybody know what we did. And that's why you don't realize that there's never going to be any sort of, reparations, because you don't give reparations to natives. But if the natives don't know that they're natives, then they're going to ask for reparations because you told them they're African Americans, because you did a bait and switch. How beautiful this country is. Oh my God, make America great again. Who for though? The frogs? Because I think, and even with the frogs, you know, I might be having sex with myself soon because of all the chemicals they put in the water. So I don't even know how long that's going to last. You know what I'm saying? Making America great again. Who? For the natives? Who were basically, you know, genocided? And the others ran over the Mexican border. And the ones who ran over the Mexican border, which are the Apache and the Comanche, which were the baddest indigenous who fought some of these nasty bastards who came in here and did a bait and switch. They are demonized and called aliens coming back on a landmass that their ancestors walked on without any sort of borders. Go figure that. But, you know, who are you listening to? A mentally ill woman who says that she's native and really she's from Africa, though my ancestors remember where they're from and yours may not even be from here. But don't listen to me, because I'm just a frog. Calling me arrogant because I actually like myself and I love my lineage. Go figure that. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting because if I was twerking and had a BLM flag on the back of my behind and I was basically acting like a savage going to robbing stores and being a criminal, then everybody would accept me better, right? Then I would be the reminiscent of the black people in this country if I was acting like the very savage that doesn't exist. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be like myself. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like who I am and like my skin and love my hair and love my hair color and love my eye color and love my father and love my mother. I apologize for loving myself. I didn't mean to offend anyone for liking my skin color and feeling like that was okay. I'm really sorry for those. I didn't mean to insult you for denoting my Caribbean history and my Carib nationality and my lineage. I apologize for that. I didn't mean to offend you. I didn't mean to offend you of talking about good things that come from being brown or copper skin. I didn't mean to talk about good things about myself because I should have just been in self-hate. I didn't mean to talk about the fact that I picked a husband that looked like me and my children and that I love myself, so I picked an image that was reminiscent of myself. I apologize for that. Please do not take that as anything else but me just trying to keep it real. But I apologize. I did not mean to make you think that there are brown women that are educated, that aren't marginalized, that aren't taking drugs, that aren't twerking, that love themselves, love their family, and has a good father living in the house with them. I apologize for breaking those stereotypes. I didn't mean to do that. I apologize by saying that Africa is a beautiful nation with so many multiple groups of wonderful people. And even though that isn't where my ancestors directly came from, that I have such love for that nation and I really respect them and honor them. And that even though the United States has re-gentrified people, taking away their actual national lineage and connection to the land that they lived on, that literally, that was a problem. I apologize for that. And I apologize to the woman who came in my group acting like she was cool with brown people, but basically throwing our own people under the bus, talking about all their personal business, telling people's business, talking about how they thought that a celebrity from the movie Highland was calling them, but really they thought they were psychologically ill. I apologize for that. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to do it. I'm just sorry. I'm sorry. I just, next time I'm going to try to come on and act more black for you. I will. And I'm going to try to twerk. I don't really know how to twerk. My mother didn't twerk. I'm not an alcoholic, but maybe I could smoke some weed for you to make you think I'm authentically black. So that would make you feel more comfortable. I apologize for that. Being in love with yourself is too much nowadays. So I apologize because, already, I've been labeled as a terrorist by the very corporation that told us we had free speech on here, YouTube. And then I've been labeled as a terrorist when I'm coming on here, haven't ever twerked, haven't ever showed my genitalia, haven't ever smoked a marijuana. I haven't drank on here. I don't curse. I take care of my children. I love my parents. I love my children. I love my home. But I'm sorry, YouTube. I didn't know that loving yourself is very terroristic, or speaking the truth about your native nationality that's been lied to you and historically wiped away to allow other people to live on a land free without guilt. I'm sorry. Welcome to the Exodus, y'all. I apologize. Oh, can I say, I'm going to sing the national anthem, y'all. I pledge allegiance. Where's the heart? I'm sorry. The upgrade. The heart used to be here. It used to be here. I don't know where the heart is. We had to upgrade. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under devils and Satanists, under individual, under God, with liberty and justice for none. Does that make it better, y'all? You want to stay in the United States of America? Go ahead. You want to stay in a country that's killing you up by weaponizing your food and causing a whole bunch of coups and telling people that they black when they're not, telling them they're for African when they're really not, telling other people that it's okay to gentrify and take away a symbol that was really innocent and make it into something perverted? You could stay. If you call that terroristic, then it is what it is. If you think it's okay for all of these people to have access to a girl's bathroom, to allow grown men with tall heels who still have balls of mass destruction to enter a girl's bathroom and use it to perhaps molest her in the bathroom because he decides one day to dress into a skirt because the whole country has allowed him to be change his gender to make him more accessible to young girls and to kidnap them, go ahead. To tell little brown boys that they're nothing, then you basically tell them that they're not applicable or appropriate to go into corporate America. And then when they start selling marijuana, you put them in jail for 10 years and then you freaking, you legalized it and put a whole bunch of chemicals in it. And those poor boys are still living in jail because they couldn't get a job, but they're animals, right? They're apes, monkeys. The monkey world, right? But you won't show the videos of others robbing stores. You just like Willy Wonka, you Zionist bastards, you freaking Jesuits devils. You like to show all the brown people doing dirty things, but you don't want to show anybody else doing anything, right? Because we're the only demons in this world, right? We're the same people who let everybody in this country, allowed them to walk all over us and kill off all the babies here so they can feel comfortable with their white picket fences, but we the devils, right? I haven't gone to any country, dominated it, lied to the people, act like I was friends, and then stab them in the back and take all the resources, but I'm the devil, right? Robbing a liquor store doesn't really equate to robbing a whole country of its resources, sir. I'm sorry. For every cell phone in here, I'm sorry, my people of so-called African origin, I'm not going over to Africa, letting little babies go and go in holes, getting Kobo for your comfortable cell phones. But I'm a devil, right? You want me to support Palestine and Israel, but you can't even recognize what's going on in Haiti with the United States going over there causing coups, kidnapping children to eat them and use their organs, and having a whole freaking a political stance of them murdering their president, prime minister, and y'all don't even talk about it, but you want me to support Palestine, right? How am I supposed to support another country when you don't even see anybody else? You only want me to support you because it's appropriate now because all the governments are telling you that that's something we should talk about. I'm going to talk about things that happen in my neck of the woods. Why am I going to go over to the Middle East? We got problems over here. What's the song? What's the song? Oh, wait. Hold on, y'all. I want to be a patriarch. I want to be patriarchal frog. Okay, hold on. My country, 'tis of thee, free, sweet land of liberty, of thee I see. Lands where my fathers died, land where the pilgrims pride, all on the mountainside, let freedom ring. Whoop it up, yay! Did you like my song? Ribbit, ribbit. I want everybody to thank YouTube. I want to give a really thank you to. I want to give a sip to YouTube. Please put a like in the video. I want to thank YouTube for really putting me as the most hated terrorist on YouTube. Thank you very much. I've been here since 2011. I want to thank YouTube. I want to thank YouTube for all of its agents of mass destruction coming here and trolling my channel, making a mother feel like she's a piece of trash for speaking truth and censoring everything we say. I want to thank YouTube for weaponizing all these other Agent Smiths on all these channels, making them seem like they're actually whistleblowers, but they're just basically other agents that you've given commerce to allow them to constantly say things that are absolutely lies or just mislead people or distract them. Thank you, YouTube. I want to thank YouTube for making all of us feel like the liberties and the justice for all literally is a lie of mass destruction. Thank you so much. And all the channels who are punks, who want to sit there and cape for a channel that allows us to be marginalized, good for you. I hope you karmically will endure the same kind of sellout behavior in the next 6 months. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me give a PSA. FleurBrun doesn't give a crap anymore. I don't really care. You know why? Because it really doesn't matter. Because when you live righteously, if you do things in alignment with yourself and you are proud to go to sleep every night knowing that you supported your heart, what you feel, and you aren't hurting people, I think that's all I have to do. I sleep gratefully well at night knowing that when I come on here, I share the truth that I know. And if it is something that isn't known, then I'm grateful to be able to be made aware of something that is truth. They're setting you up, y'all. And if you stay in the United States, you are going to be just another victim of the terrorism of the true goons who are existing here. They are basically going to bait and switch you. They're going to make sure that they create a big enough false flag, so they're going to call you into these smart cities where basically concentration camp. It's the same loop. You just gonna have to realize that this is what they're gonna do. And for those who say you don't have to run, no, staying somewhere when you know that there's a fire is being an idiot. And for you telling people that they shouldn't run, it's not about running, it's actually being smart enough to know when to stay and when to leave. And by you constantly making people feel bad that they want to actually live somewhere where their country loves them, respects them, and is trying to protect them, you are part of the problem, sir or ma'am. This country has done nothing but constantly put other people in danger, including their own citizens. Do you know how many people are sitting right now as elders, so proud to say that they are a part of the United Fakes, when literally this country is doing nothing, including its medical system, but pumping poison in their cells every time they give them freaking medication that's coming from chinois? What do you want to do? Stay here and say, oh, well, my native people came here. Well, freaking look how many colonizers came, and where are your native people now? Are they doing that? Where's the representation? Where's the representation of the indigenous people in the Congress? How many indigenous people are in the Congress or in the Senate? How many native indigenous people became president of the United States? But you want to stay here? And what? Did you fight hard enough to preserve your lands and your indigenous cultures? So stop it already. For you to sit here and act like you're higher than thou and say, oh, don't run. Where are your soldiers, sir? Where are your soldiers who are going and making sure that the babies aren't drinking fluorinated water which is destroying their endocrine system? Where are your warriors stopping women from being raped and molested by these perverts dressed up in dresses going into women's bathrooms, sir? Where are your soldiers that are sitting here standing up for the rights of the citizens here? So until you do that, you shouldn't be in any position to tell people to stay unless you have something for them to stay for. I'm talking for the women, and I'm talking about lunar women, Asian women, brown women, indigenous women. I'm telling them that you haven't any lily pad in this fight. Leave the United States as soon as you can. Because if you stay, all they're going to do is create more false flags to initiate you and to motivate you and inevitably put you into these smart cities where then they're going to have access to all of you, including your DNA. And let me give a shout out to Jamoji, who shared this information on Zoom the other night. Thank you for sharing the fact that your United Fakes is also contracting prisoners to give their DNA through their sperm, paying them $50 a spot to have their sperm at $50 each, and then also making sure that they're putting the same blood types in a cell so they could study them while they're weaponizing their DNA and getting that information so that they can use that for the main population of brown indigenous people, because that's the only one in prisons, even though they take up only 12% of the population. So for all our homeboys and homegirls in the prison system, hold yourself and hold your DNA, because it's not going to be that much longer. Whether you go to God, Allah, Muhammad, whether you go to heaven or hell, you're not going to have that much longer. Don't give them your DNA, because when you do that, you compromise the whole collective in the biosphere. There are a lot of countries that are not going to war. This isn't one of them. When people ask me where to go, there's a whole lot of countries that will respect you better than the fake one with a fake president that are sitting here calling people into a psychotic position. You call me a terrorist, right? YouTube, that's what you called me, right? You said I was a terrorist as a mom, telling people what's going on as if they didn't know. Take your babies, take your family, and leave the United States. If you don't, you're gonna wish that you did. This is zero. This is ground zero of the weaponized concentration camps that come into a neighborhood here near you. Go look at the cities for what is it called? City 40. Look at all the smart cities and see where they are. Go look at what happened in Lahaina and Maui and see if that wasn't by chance. And don't come to me and be like, hey, FleurBrun, you know what? I'm not going to walk you through the steps. If you love yourself, you love C40. Thank you, C40 organization. Go look at those cities and see if you're living in one of those. You can stay if you want, but you're going to fight those healthy males. Those males don't look like they've been eating Kentucky Fried Chicken every day. Do you see the males coming over the border, y'all? Do you see how they look? Do you see how healthy these men? They don't have a fat belly full of yeast and beer. They don't have bad skin. They're not wearing nail polish and heels and talking about, hey girl. They're not doing that. You got 1 million weaponized males coming in the country by invitation. And you gonna sit in here and tell people to stay. When mostly the people that are going to be called or abused are gonna be women and children. You fool. We don't even know if those are humans. Those could be super soldiers. Those could be aliens. The alien invasion has already happened, and they're setting up shop. And they gave them a whole bunch of boxes, which you know what in there. There's a whole bunch of lunches in there with condiments to take out, just like the Native Americans. This is a revision of what happened. I told you we're living in a simulation. There's nothing new. There's nothing going on but the rent. Got to have a J-O-B. If you're gonna be with me. I'm gonna take down the video. I don't care. You really don't get it. For all the so-called soldiers who are wonderful combatants wearing all this jewelry, fake teeth and everything online, you got tattoos all over your face. Are you gonna be the warriors that protect the women and children here? Where's all your land with all of your tribes set up waiting? Because I know the Mormons are ready in Utah. I know the Orthodoxy Jews are ready in Brooklyn. I know the Nation of Islam is ready. What about y'all? I'm just saying, women, who are these men going to have sex with? You going to let them have sex with you? When they may be carrying payloads of Cucarachis remix? Because I haven't ever seen a war where you had this many men and they weren't looking for women for relief. Anyway, y'all, I'm sorry. I'm being a really bad frog. I'm being a toad. I apologize, Ribbit. 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 I'm going to end this conversation. I think I went south. I'm going to probably take this down because YouTube is going to, again, call me a terrorist for advising you to leave the United Fakes. You can join us tonight on Zoom for more conversation and revelations on what to do to leave the United Fakes if you desire. I won't charge you $1,000 to talk to Oshun on a walkie-talkie, nor will I try to sell you a dragon for $2,000. But if you want to join us on Zoom and join Patreon, you will meet some of the most amazing women and men. People are heightened in self-awareness, and we're prepared to relocate ourselves outside, not only of this dreadful, dreadful country that calls itself the United Fakes, but also outside the firmament, waking up in our pods and looking in the past of this reality that you call the simulation Earth. So, this message is to all the other trans frogs. For anyone who wants to donate a lily pad and a pond for FleurBrun in my transformation of trans, becoming a trans frog, I will accept those donations. Thank you. And if you'd like to join us tonight, and let me apologize again. I apologize for yelling. I didn't mean it. You know, according to YouTube, I'm psychologically unwell. I'm a terrorist of mass destruction. Do not listen to me, okay? I do apologize. You know, maybe my mental illness and me wanting to be a trans could be a testimony of my mental state. I didn't mean to tell you what the country's doing to you. You know, who am I? You know what I mean? I'm just a chick in the block. You know what I'm saying? Who am I to tell you these things? And I apologize for all of the people who feel that I'm racist, because I love myself and I really have beautiful things to say to people who look like me. I apologize for illuminating that. That was so wrong. I'm maybe going to make sure that I twerk for you next time, and I'll have a BLM flag on me. And then maybe I'll drink some liquor or smoke some drugs so that you feel like I'm more black to you. I apologize for that. So if I'm not black enough to you because I'm not hating myself and loathing myself and, you know, and displaying myself in a way that's less than flattering, I apologize. You know, that's so racist of me. You know, we shouldn't talk nicely about ourselves. I'm actually going to put like a lunar Jesus in my house so it makes you feel more comfortable, so that I have an image that's opposite of me, so it can make you feel more comfortable that I hate myself. I apologize. So y'all, I'm gone. I'm out of there. Join us tonight join us tonight on Zoom. It is what it is. Put a like on this video. I don't even know if I'm gonna keep it up. Let's see what YouTube. I already know, because you heard the guy on YouTube. You already know they waiting to delete this video. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Stay strong, stay up, and stay woke. And not the kind of woke they trying to demonize. I'm talking about the type that knows what time it is. Look for those purple beams of light. Pay attention to the rainbows. Disallow from other people and giving you their narrative to depreciate who you are. And guess what? A secret. I see color. Peace.